1986 during the postseason of area hospitals. He says doctors told him that patients recovered sooner and were released sooner. So there's your proof that this is just what the doctor ordered. Let's go inside Fenway Park to Gary Gillis.
All right, thank you very much, Miles. Speaking of exactly what the doctor ordered, with me is Red Sox team physician Dr. Arthur Pappas. And one of the question marks, I think, surrounding this game one of the series is how Roger Clemens is going to respond after having pitched last weekend against the Toronto Blue Jays. But that was after 25 days rest. He's coming in after a week's rest now, and I want to see him. With severe tendonitis that Roger experienced, do you have any concerns that perhaps a couple of innings work here tonight might cause a reoccurrence of that?
Always have that concern, but I think it's very unlikely. Roger's shoulder's feeling very good today. He has excellent motion, and mentally he's ready to pitch.
What has he been doing this past week in the time between the start against the Blue Jays and tonight's start?
He's continued with his physical therapy program and working his exercise program that we prescribed for him for his shoulder, and taking some anti-inflammatory medication. And he has thrown every other day.
During that time off between the time when his arm blew up against Dave Stewart, actually, and the time he pitched in Toronto, he attempted a couple of times and experienced pain. Was there any similar pain in between his time off on Saturday to this week?
This week has been totally pain-free and able to move his shoulder normally, and his muscles have felt smooth without any evidence of inflammation or sensitivity.
I understand that John has a question for you.
Yeah, Dr. Pappas, this is John Dennis up in the skybox. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, good evening, Doctor. Just a quick question about the future, and I know you're not a prognosticator, nor do you have a crystal ball, but give me a sense in terms of if everything goes very, very well for Roger tonight and then in the recovery period tomorrow, would you consider letting him pitch on less than 5 days rest to accelerate his American League Championship situation so that maybe we see him 3 times and not 2?
I think that if everything feels good, with no sensitivity in muscles or tendons, that medically I would not have a problem recommending that to Joe Morgan.
All right. Dr. Arthur Pappas, thank you very much. You're doing a great job keeping Roger healthy, and all of New England has their eyes on not only Roger, but you as well. Let's go from one doctor to kind of an honorary doctor, if you will, the honorary sports psychologist, I guess we can call Eddie Andelman, again at the souvenir shop outside the ballpark to gauge the fan state of mind. Eddie?
Well, I'll tell you, John, that's fan state of mind is the most positive I've ever seen it for an underdog. And here's a man that legally has thousands of dollars riding on this game, Arthur DeAngelis of the souvenir shop. And would it be fair to say that 6 figures Red Sox win would mean to you?
You have no imagination what it means to us. You keep mentioning 3-1 favorite to Oakland. I'm investing thousands and thousands of dollars because I believe in this team. I believed it all year, and it's going to continue until the end.
When are you going to start printing World Series
tickets? It's already
tickets?
in action. That's how much belief I do on this team.
And then, of course, if the Red Sox don't win, what Mr. DeAngelis does is put it away in the storeroom, and they sell it 15 years from now or 18 years from now, or in the year 2018, which will be the 100th anniversary of the last time that the Red Sox won it all. But I do believe, do you folks believe? Do you believe? All right. That's what we need. Red Sox fans off their hands tonight, and they're going to psych the Oakland Athletics right out of town. And right now, we're going to take this little commercial break and then back to Dare to Dream.
All right, Eddie Andelman, thank you very much. Live outside the souvenir shop on Yawkey Way. Yes, we are going to take a break, and we'll be right back with more Red Sox 1990 Dare to Dream. See you in 2 minutes, everybody.
Why is banking so difficult? Maybe it's the language, which can be pretty complicated. But now there's the Snap account, a simple new approach to checking. With checking, savings, and overdraft protection in one account. Snap, the no bounce, no hassle, and no hidden cost checking account, only from Bank of New England. The Snap account. Simple, isn't it?
They live in communities and often have close friends of the same age. They talk to each other, and when they get nervous, they tend to talk faster and at a higher pitch. They have one baby at a time. Mothers nurse their children until they're ready for solid food, and mothers babysit for one another. Mother and child form tight bonds that last for years. This symbol promises that no dolphins were harmed while catching Starkist tuna.
Приготавливайте се голосовать.
Preparem-se para votar.
Alistem-se para votar. Préparez-vous à voter.
ប្រុងប្រៀបរៀបចំខ្លួនទៅបោះឆ្នោត
Get ready to vote.
It doesn't matter how you say it.
What matters is that you do it.
For more information, call 1-800-462-VOTE.
Welcome back to Red Sox 1990 Dare to Dream. I'm John Dennis in the broadcast center in the skybox high above Fenway Park. Joining us down on the field right outside the Red Sox dugout is Red Sox left fielder Mike Greenwell. Good evening, Michael.
How you doing, John?
I'm doing very well. I guess the question is, how are you doing and how are your teammates doing? You've been in big ball games in 86, 88, and 90. Give me a sense of the atmosphere in the clubhouse getting ready for this one.
I'll tell you what, it's definitely loose. Everybody's having fun, and we just believe we're going to win.
A lot has been said about the importance of this ball game tonight. You have your best pitcher in Roger Clemens going. You are at home at Fenway Park. This might be your best opportunity. Does that then make this a must-win situation?
Well, I don't think we can kid ourselves. We got to go out and win this ball game. If we do that, we're going to have a lot more confidence and feel a lot better about ourselves. So we want to win, and this is a game to win.
When you hear all the position-by-position analysis that says the Oakland A's are better than you are faster than you are, have more power, have more pitching, have more speed, what does that do to the Red Sox as a team? Does it anger you? Does it motivate you? What?
Not really. We believe we can beat them, and that's the bottom line. I mean, we got a lot of talent here, and as long as we believe that, we're going to win.
I see what you're saying about everybody being loose. Final quick question, I'll let you go because I know you have some business to attend to tonight. Give me a sense of Roger Clemens in the clubhouse. I know he is the team leader. Does he lead by only what he does out on the field, or does he try to get you guys pumped up in the clubhouse getting ready for tonight?
He's just a quiet leader. He goes out, does his job, and when he's doing his job, he's one of the best in the game. So if he's on tonight, he's as tough as anybody that ever played this game.
Mike Greenwell, good luck to you, and thank you very much for your time.
Thanks, John.
All right, thank you. You know, baseball's second season, as you know, is drawing closer for the Boston Red Sox. We're just a few minutes away. The older a player gets, the more important these postseason opportunities become. And when Dennis Eckersley looks back on his young life and calls himself wild, I think he's talking about lifestyle, not pitching location. Sports 7's Jack Edwards, in collaboration with Monitor Television's Larry Eldridge, examines the X transformation from starter to closer, from wild man to polished professional. Eckersley sat in the stands talking to Eldridge. He occasionally glanced toward the playing field as if replaying his past. He and Jack Edwards put this story together talking about Dennis Eckersley. Let's take a listen.
He was in the big leagues at age 20, a fiery-eyed flamethrower.
Yeah, I think every time you look back, you always think that you were throwing harder maybe than you were, but I was raw back then. Thinking back, I was a lot wilder than I am right now, but I was very fortunate to pitch for a team like Cleveland that needed pitching help, and I got to the big leagues much sooner than maybe I would have somewhere else.
Dennis Eckersley became the tribe's young gun. Some scouts said that with the way he threw, he would blow out his shoulder. In the meantime, he was blowing down batters. He threw a no-hitter for a team that finished 28.5 games out of first in 1977. Incredibly, if Eckersley had been able to veto his trade to Boston in 1978, he probably would have elected to stay with the Indians.
You know, for me, leaving Cleveland was all the friends, and that was the organization that I had, found all these friends and had close relationships with. So for me, they're saying, boy, you're going to a winner now, and that wasn't important to me. I was very emotional when I had to leave a lot of my friends, and it was a big move for me. And at that point, I was getting in the middle of a divorce, too, which didn't help matters, and I had a little girl, and it was a very emotional time for me. And then coming to here, to Boston, was like, whew, I didn't know what I was getting into.
For a guy who thought Cleveland was baseball paradise, it was a trip to another galaxy.
Got him. First strikeout for the X.
He won 20 games in 1978, 17 more in 79. He was the staff stopper, a handsome, visible man whose fast lane likings were fed by the very nature of his job.
You know, the day that you have to pitch, there's all that pressure, but it's like once a week. You come to the ballpark 4 other days knowing that you're not going to play, and the pressure's off, and you can just act like it's another day at the office.
The office hours often ended around 11 at night, when the night seemed young, in the days when he seemed invincible. But from 1980 through 83, Eckersley was 5 games under 500. His durability plummeted, and in 84, he was gone to the Cubs, carrying serious baggage.
At that point, my arm was dead, and obviously I didn't have too good a years here the last couple of years, and then they let me go, and I went to Chicago and had some success there for a while, and then things went sour again, personally and professionally. It all caught up with me. You know, it started off here. I was single when I first came here, and then I got married 3 years into playing in Boston. And I was very happy. And then this game, you know, there's a problem that you don't think. I had an alcohol problem that I probably lived with for quite a while. That came to a head when I got to Chicago. And luckily, you know, by the grace of God, I caught the problem, and it turned my whole life around. And that's why things have seemed to work out so smoothly in Oakland.
Changed cities, changed lifestyles, changed jobs. Once reluctant to be available more than about once a week, Eckersley was assigned to accept daily pressure, and he thrived. The A's went 85-7 in games they led after 6 innings in 1988. The reason was the relief corps, led by Mr. Glib.
I had a good fastball, and I throw strikes. It's as simple as that. I've been doing it all my life. You either get lit up or you get them out.
Still cocksure in 88. You either get lit up or get them out.
That was just an unbelievable year. Everything just sort of went my way. I didn't mean to talk about it was my year because it was the Oakland A's year, but everything went my way up until, you know, I went here and saved 4 ball games in the playoffs, and then it all sort of fell apart because of one pitch to Kirk Gibson.
The shock was great enough to reverse the polls of what was supposed to be a one-sided World Series. The Dodgers went on to win it in 5 games. Eckersley was the victim of one of baseball's most memorable moments, but it was only a moment in the year he turned his life around.
Nothing will ever change that you know, the kind of year that I had that year personally. I felt grateful for all the good things that happened to me that year, and that one pitch couldn't ruin what happened to me.
His record proves that he wasn't shattered. In 1988, Eckersley had a solid 2.35 ERA and a league-leading 45 saves. But in 89, he lowered his ERA by 0.8 of a run and saved 33 despite missing a month and a half. This year, he has allowed about half an earned run per 9 innings, saving 48 games, the second highest save total of all time. Eckersley still gets lit up, but only about once every 30 appearances. He blew only 2 save opportunities in 63 outings this year while closing the door 48 times. And he throws more strikes than ever. A good strikeout-to-walk ratio is 2 whiffs to every base on balls. A pitcher's ratio is excellent if it's 3-to-1. Since Eckersley has been a closer, his ratio is 11-to-1. And this season, the Eck is off the scale, better than 18 strikeouts for each base on balls. He is the core of Oakland's confidence, the virtual assurance that if the A's get ahead late, they win. But that is not a position which provides too many easy days at the office.
To me, it's not fun until it's over, until the playoffs are done, until the World Series is done. You know, people say, boy, you must have fun in the playoffs. But that's the most pressure there is. I mean, I enjoy this game. I think I'll enjoy it much more when I think back and over my career.
He turned 36 on Wednesday. Having started in the minors at 17, Eckersley has been playing ball for more than half his life. It has been a humbling adolescence.
I don't know. Looking back, I'm not real proud of how I acted, but it's just sort of, I grew out of that, and you can't change what's happened, and you just try to be better at what you do now.
When he does get a chance to think back, it seems he was throwing harder then, but the living is so much better now.
The Eck, Dennis Eckersley, back live.